Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with the CTV News Update. A hit-and-run crash leaves a pedestrian dead in Greenbelt. The incident happened around 2 o'clock this morning at the 6200 block of Greenbelt Road. When police arrived on the scene, they found an adult male in the roadway. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Few other details have been released. Shortly after the trial of Officer Derek Chauvin for the murder of George Floyd, concerns were made about a Maryland medical examiner's testimony in the case. Now, a team looking into his tenure has narrowed down the scope of its investigation. Patricia Vallone has more.
When Dr. David Fowler testified in the trial of Officer Derek Chauvin for the murder of George Floyd, there were more than 400 medical experts that complained that his testimony deviated from standard medical practices. Now, that prompted an investigation into his tenure as Maryland's chief medical examiner. An independent audit was performed of more than 1,300 in-custody deaths. Now the group is recommending a closer examination of 100 of those cases. The review will determine if independent experts agree with the office's determination of cause and manner of death and whether adequate investigations were performed. From the newsroom, this is Patricia Vallone with CTV News.
Investigators will recruit additional independent forensic pathologists and other experts to perform a more detailed review. An increasing number of recent unemployed people are getting signed up for health insurance through Maryland Health Connection. Lawmakers, state officials, and healthcare advocates say a program launched earlier this year is the reason. They say since June, more than 1,400 people have signed up for insurance using the state's easy enrollment program, and almost 4,000 more reported a change to the Maryland Health Connection. Advocates say it's been a real help to a lot of people.
For anybody who is insured through their employment, they don't necessarily know the systems that are in place for them to get onto low-cost, subsidized, or free health care through the exchange if they have never had to do that before. And at a time when so much is going on in folks' lives, they've just lost their job, they may not be able to take the time to track that down. So it makes so much sense. It is such a perfect connection to say, as you're filling out your unemployment insurance, check this box if you want to find out what are the options that are available for you for healthcare. And that is now in place.
For more information, go to marylandhealthconnection.gov. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed 689 new cases. The county's positivity rate is at 8.26%. 3 Marylanders have died of COVID over the past 24 hours, and 467 people are hospitalized. Monkeypox cases are on the decline nationwide, but African Americans have been disproportionately impacted. Cases reportedly peaked in early August and have since been flattening out among white individuals and decreasing among Latinos. Blacks initially made up less than 12% of monkeypox cases during the first month of the outbreak. Nationwide, they now make up 42% of all cases. In Maryland, 61% of the reported cases are among African Americans, mostly in Baltimore City and Prince George's County. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Back in a moment.
This is my house. My parents helped build it. Now we don't get wet when it rains. I don't get too hot or too cold inside. I can play with my sister, I can play with my brother, I can play with my mother, my father, my family. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house.
This is my house.
Visit Habitat.org to find out how you can help more families like mine.
Welcome back. The mayor and city council of Laurel are preparing to hold a public hearing on Monday about spiking rental rates and rental stabilization. Some areas like Patuxent Place and Laurel have seen rent jump between 30 and 50% this year. Councilmember Martin Mitchell says there should be a level of urgency among residents.
The administration, will hear from the residents strictly on rent policies and, rent stabilization and affordable housing and issues that go on between the tenant and the landlord. So we're looking to hear from, not only renters, but we're looking to hear from small landlords, right? We're looking to hear from corporate landlords. We don't want to say that anybody was left out of the conversation because at the end of the day, we're going to make this, strive forward as a community.
The public meeting is set for 6 p.m. on Monday at the Laura Municipal Center. If you want to speak, you're encouraged to arrive 15 minutes early to sign up. We have also learned that CASA and Laurel Housing Justice Coalition are planning a rally at 5 outside of the center. Maryland defends its licensing requirements for would-be handgun owners. The move comes in light of a recent U.S. Supreme Court decision that limits restrictions on the right to keep and bear arms. Attorney General Brian Frost's defense comes as an appeals court considers a gun rights group's challenge to Maryland's required handgun qualification license. Frost's filing says that the state has actually had a firearm licensing requirement dating back to 1792, the year after the Second Amendment was ratified. The Maryland State Bar Association and the Maryland the Maryland Association of Certified Public Accountants host a candidates forum for comptroller. At the event, Democratic hopeful delegate Brooke Learman said she plans to focus on modernizing the office and improving customer service. If elected, Learman says her role on the Maryland Board of Public Works would be to serve as an advocate for taxpayers.
Means making sure that that money stays in Maryland, making sure that we're working with our small businesses, finally reaching our minority business enterprise goals. You know, we have the second highest goal in the country at 29%. We have the oldest MBE program in the nation, and we never come close to meeting our minority business enterprise goals. And you know, that means that we're not getting best value because in a way we're limiting our competition, right? Ensuring that we keep our AAA bond rating by being smart about the effect that, you know, changing weather patterns are having.
Learman is currently the delegate for District 46. Republican candidate Hartford County Executive Barry Glassman was unable to attend. A teachers' union files an unfair labor practice complaint against the school system. The Montgomery County Education Association claims the school system is using unlawful delay tactics in negotiations. Teachers held a rally outside of school board offices yesterday ahead of a scheduled meeting. The school system denies the allegations and countered that the complaint could lead to months of delays. The union represents 14,000 teachers and school workers. More news and sports after the break. Stay with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Polls say the majority of Marylanders are in favor of legalizing recreational marijuana for adults on the November ballot. But that's not stopping a grassroots effort to fight the measure, according to Maryland Matters. A group called Parent Action Network says it's using a website and word of mouth to tell voters why it opposes question 4 on the statewide ballot. If the initiative passes, a companion bill would go into effect that would allow criminal records to be expunged for people convicted of a single possession of cannabis. Metro announces that the Silver Line extension could be ready and open to passengers by Thanksgiving. For that to happen, WMATA needs to know by this Friday if the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission will clear the way for the use of enough 7000 series trains and approve the extension's safety certification. The commission on Monday rejected Metro's request to operate more rail cars, citing a lack of data. Both agencies have told the region's congressional delegation that they are at an impasse.
Hey there, sports fans. Happy Wednesday. Now, there's some trouble under center for two of our teams in the area, starting in the NFL with the Washington Commanders. After defeating the Chicago Bears, quarterback Carson Wentz underwent surgery Monday to repair a fractured ring finger on his right hand. With his timeline to return playing uncertain, this means fan fave Taylor Heinicke gets another shot. And Coach Ron Rivera is confident in Heinicke's ability to contribute.
Taylor will start. He'll be backed up by Sam. Well, I think because of the familiarity and the things that we do, it'll be an easy transition for us. I think with Taylor too, there is always that ability to run the ball. He's got a little bit of that in him. So it'll be interesting, because the things that we'll do, we'll most certainly do will match his skill set.
And now last season, Heinicke played well enough to land a second contract with the team, so fans are excited to see what he does this time around. Now, there's a similar situation going on over at the University of Maryland. The team announced yesterday that quarterback Taulia Tagovailoa has suffered an MCL sprain. During the close win against Indiana, the QB took a hit to his right knee and was carted off the field. Now, although he avoided a more serious knee injury, whether he plays this Saturday against Northwestern will be a game-time decision.
Had an MRI, had our doctors look at it, also got a second opinion, and again, just re-aggravated the previous injury and very thankful we had the knee brace on in that game. I know y'all hate to hear this, but Emily, it is a game time decision. He was able to make it back after the Michigan game with this same injury. It's all about how his body feels and recovers, and we'll continue to do the things necessary to keep his safety and health at the front of our decisions.
Now, the future does look pretty promising because yesterday Tagovailoa participated in practice while wearing his knee brace, of course. In the meantime, Billy Edwards Jr., a transfer from Wake Forest, will start at quarterback. The Washington Wizards play their first regular season game of the 2022 NBA season tonight. They tip off on the road against the Indiana Pacers at 7 p.m. The Wizards finished 12th in the Eastern Conference last year and are really looking to make some noise this season. Head coach Wes Unseld Jr. spoke yesterday about the team being ready to play at a high level.
To make sure your group's prepared, you're ready to compete at a high level. You know you're going into a hostile environment, so all those things. I think it might be good for us that, us against the world mentality. We'll pull together and hopefully dig deep, pull from within. So it's going to be a challenge, of course, but it's exciting to have, opportunity to, spoil a game on the road.
And again, game time is 7 p.m.
This week's edition of Pet of the Week, a furry feline is looking for his forever home. Meet Leo. He is a 5-year-old orange tabby, and Animal Management says he's a laid-back cat.
He would be great for someone who might have a busy lifestyle but wants a companion. You could be gone 12 hours a day at work and he would be completely fine with that. He is a bigger cat, so he's a big boy, but he is very sweet, cuddly, and just wants to lay in bed all day.
For more information on Leo or any of his four-legged friends, contact Animal Management at 301-780-7201. Checking on your weather forecast now. Tonight, actually, clear with frosty conditions, low around 35. Thursday's forecast, sunny skies with highs around 60 degrees. Friday, sunny again, high temperatures around 66. Saturday and Sunday, we're looking for sunny skies, warms around 70 degrees. And that's your CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Taylor Thomas with Laurencia Moten. Good night.